Today, we have 3 hours, nearly 4 hours to finish the event. I got really close last time, and by really close, I mean I got hosed on ships, because I'm terrible at ships. But, you know, you live and learn. I did lose a couple of extra battles, which, in hindsight, I shouldn't have, but I've boned up. I've gotten better. Not really, but we're gonna do our best. Now today I'm going up against Shad, which I believe is a biblical name. I'm not entirely sure. Shad has already one-shotted my bottom rows, and he's gone ahead, and he's, done pretty well against everyone. Now look at this. Look at my geos. Very excited. Now I will say the next time I play this, I will have, I believe, all of my geos to at least Relic 5 and obviously Brood to 7. Super stoked about that. Wrong button. Obviously he's done pretty well. I think he's just waiting until closer to the event or closer to whatever, and then he'll probably try and destroy me. Such is the way that many of the peoples do. But let's look real quick. Let's look at Shad's team. He doesn't have... No, he does. He's got Kylo Ren. So he's got all of those first orders real solid. But it looks like he has... I don't know. Like, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, right? But I feel comfortable in saying this is going to be close. May not get the win, but it'll be close, right? That's what I'm thinking, right? Because, I mean, again, here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. Like, looking at a lot of, like, my GP. Oh, he's got a much higher GP. And good for him for leveling up characters that he probably doesn't use. Like Ugnaught. Mad props, man. Mad props. But, like, yeah. Alright. So I'm going up against a collector. I like this. Okay, so on offense, he's got first order. He's got a pretty solid first order, too. He's got his rebels, and this one always messes with me. Freaking Chupio. Gets me every time. And then rebels up here. It's one of those teams that you just got to be careful with, right? Got our separatists and our Galactic Republic. This video is not brought to you by Monster, but Monster, if you're watching and you want to sponsor, by all means, or Rockstar, whoever. I kind of prefer Rockstar, but Costco doesn't sell them in the bulk. All right, so let's go up against our Galactic Republic team. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the team that I know can beat it. Boop doo. I'm going to switch out. I'm going to leave Kenobi. I'm going to pull in Jolie. Do I want... I don't know. He's got... Like, it's doable. Let me bring up my Jedi real quick. 7. Not that relics always matter in this, because there's so many different variables. But it's so important to, like, not expect or undervalue that opening. I'm gonna bring in. I think I can do it without it. I'm gonna try. Oh, this might kill me. We'll see. It's 3PO that is the odd man out here, because I'm not used to 3PO. Actually, I might just... Boom! There we are. Let's throw that on. Let's attack this guy. First off, I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. And you got everything you wanted. Of course, peace on earth, goodwill to men. And even if you didn't have peace on earth, which we didn't, I hope you at least had peace in your homes. And if you have kids and that's impossible, or if you're in a family and that's impossible, I hope you just had a good day, right? That's that's important. I had a pretty good day. I did. It was... Let me throw on all these guys. Oh, man, I forgot about that. Let's do this. Booyah, Grandma. Let's take this thing off. And let's start whittling down old Kenobi here. Old B1 Kenobi. I had a good time. Took some naps. Was up pretty late. I watched Santa put together a dollhouse. It was the most redonkulous thing like I've ever seen. It was insane. And then the fat man and his elves forgot to take out the tools that they used to build said dollhouse. And it was an interesting Christmas morning. Hope everyone is doing well on their what do you call that thing? The stride towards Mando. I'm so close, guys. So close. And it's hard because like I really want to whale. And I've been strategically whaling. And it's frustrating at the very least, to say the very least. Okay, hold on. This one always throws me off. Also, if you guys have any advice, please feel free. Let me show you just real quick where I'm at. I've got my Separatists down here. This is the bottom front row. Up here, I've got Rebels, First Order, and he's got a solid First Order team. He does have a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And then I've got Rebels with Chupio, or CLS with Chupio. So, again, any advice, you guys feel free. Join the chat. Let us, whether you're on... I'm streaming on Facebook. Not Twitter. Twitch and YouTube. So, and my lovely, darling wife got me Mithril. Now, I would love to be able to push his head down and have, like, stuff shoot out of his neck. That would be hilarious. But they didn't design him that way, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. Separatists can't be attacked. Can't be attacked. I mean, they have those abilities. Attacks back. He has a clap back. Let's see. Why do I keep jumping out of here? I need someone who can do some... I'm going to pull my bounty hunters. They're a pretty good faction. I'm gonna pull in 5. Just in case. I know that it's doable. I know. It's probably doable with... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. With 4 here. But I also just want to make sure that, you know, not killing myself. I do love that... What do you call it? Buffs on bounty hunters. I do love his disintegration. It is wunderbar, to quote my German friends. I think that's German. Ajaboom. Why am I still attacking him? Oh my gosh. This is a... Dun, dun, dun. Boop. Stun him. Okay. I'm falling into the trap of quicksand, ladies and gentlemen. Make one bad decision, you just keep going, keep going. All right. Let's do this. Get on! It's terrible. I think I need to go to the doctor. Oh, you mean... Oh, different gas altogether. It's going well. I am... Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I was watching... So, for those of you who... Oh, this is going to suck. No. Balls. For those of you who watched the DB official live stream today, it was... GAC just started. Just started. Right now, not a... I am farming gas, or like a gas squad. So it's not an odd question, per se. But, alright. I'm gonna kill you, because you're a butthole. No, that backfired. But, it was going well till I brought my bounty hunters in, and I brought the wrong ones. Actually, I made just a mistake right there at the beginning. Freaking butthole separatists. But, now that you bring it up, let's actually open... Oh, no, just in case Slacker's there on the back row. This is what I'm going to do. Empire. And because it's needed. Wampa! I'm going in. I'm a little frustrated about this loss. Because this battle may be the loss that actually loses it for me, unfortunately. Shkaboom. Oh, you butthole. There's a lot of anger, like right here. And it's still Christmas time. I should be merry. Oh, what do I want to do? Let's do this. Yeah. Butt nugget. Let's fracture that guy. Yeah! That's what I'm saying. You don't mess with the Wampa. Yeah, right there. Right there. I mean, so frustrating, right? All right. Yeah, and just like that, womp 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 womp. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Okay. Okay. Let's bring in our Sith. Let's bring in our Sith lady and our tank. Oh man, that's so frustrating. I hate when that happens. I really feel like I need to to level up Sith Trooper, cause, or at least make him viable, more viable. Cause right now it's, oh my gosh, the anger. There's anger that is palpable. Very frustrated right now. Sweet, merciful crap. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Like, this is redonkulous. Let's bring him back to life. Shibuya. You don't mess with the zombie. Speaking of zombies and Pawn, I don't know if you're interested in. We were talking about you mentioned briefly on Pawn's. For those of you who are not on YouTube watching this, but maybe Twitch or Facebook, on YouTube, I always end my streams, or actually all my streams, I end with like, "Hey, go check out Audible." Or even if you don't go check out Audible, go check out your local library. There's some great stories out there. I'm actually considering opening up a second channel to talk about like writing and storytelling and all of that other stuff. And then I'll do book reviews there. I might fit better. But I always talk about Audible. And right now I'm listening to a book series. It's a horror book series written by a guy named Jonathan Maberry. And I absolutely love this guy. I think I found him last year or the year before. Like my wife read one of his books and she didn't like it, but so good. I love it. It's just wonderful. If it's this series that I'm listening to now is, I think, let me see, it's After Dark. No, that's not right. It's the Still of the Night or Dark of the Night. Like the first book's called I can't. Fall of Night, Dead of Night, and it is officially, yeah. Well, atmospheric horror. What do you mean? Like it's classified as horror, but I don't know atmospheric horror. No, not like H.P. Lovecraft, but it does have It has Lovecraftian elements to it. Really fascinating. Although I am listening to H.P. Lovecraft, and like the complete works edited by the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, the HPLS. It's like 35 hours or 40 hours long. It is so... I've been listening to it since October. And just like every time I finish a book and I'm looking for a new one, like I put that on and it's great. But it's so long. But this guy, he actually wrote with George Romero. And worked on stories with George Romero. And the foreword to this book actually says that Romero, who like created the whole zombie concept, essentially gave him the blessing. Like these stories are the beginning of the Romero stories. And it's the beginning of like Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that. It's like he gave it the blessing. It's awesome. It's really, really good. So much fun though. Anyways, I just gotta say that. All right. Every time I'm like listening to or reading another book, I post and I tag him on like Instagram and Twitter. He responds back. It's so cool. Yeah. Okay. I got distracted there. Okay, let's go. Do I want to take this team? Yeah. Okay. These guys. Trying to think what's a good. I know CLS works, but I'm not great with CLS against. Let's jump over here real quick. Let's take out some of these other fools. Am I beating him? Hey, I'm beating him. Awesome. Ooh. I'm beating him. Oh, I'm not. I'm 400 shy. Of course I'm not beating him. I was looking at that. I was like, what? Sometimes I feel not dyslexic, but dysgraphic, which is, for those of you who didn't know, the numerical equivalent of dyslexia. You switch the numbers around. All right. I'm going to go... Oh, nope. Up here. So we're going up against Rebels. I've got a feeling that my Sith Empire could work pretty well here. Oh, the Mandalorian. See, I just used the Mandalorian and I lost. And that wasn't the Mandalorian's fault. That was entirely this guy's fault. Let's do this. Yeah, I feel strong about this. I might be wrong. My instincts aren't always the best. It is that guy that we want to take out real quick. Throw in some fear. There we go. Let's go for Biggs. Oh, not Biggs. The other one. Oh, but Biggs will work. Da, 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 da. Dive, dip, dodge, dive, and dive. Every time I hear dodge, I just think of Dodgeball, the movie. Probably one of my favorite Ben Stiller movies. Yeah, I love it. Okay, let's go with CLS. I'm gonna put in General Skywalker. I don't know, why did I just jump over the 5-0 first? Boom, boom, boom. But Echo. Yeah, Echo. Let's throw on some. I didn't do what I wanted it to. That's no bueno. Who am I attacking? Let's go for... Uh-oh. Here he comes. All right. That's awesome. That's what I love about this game. Darth Gilles. It's the community that keeps us coming back. Like the community is so much fun. Like I love my guild. Let's take out Chewbacca. Like I do, I absolutely love my guild. It's so much fun. Like the guys that are great. Like we're striving for better scores, and you know, like GAC this week we suck. Not GAC. The territory battles, right? We sucked. We didn't do well, and that a lot of that is on my part. But like, we're not getting mad at each other that we didn't do amazing, because it's just we're trying our best. We're cool with the fact that we all have lives, and it's great. That's what I love about like this game. The community is freaking amazing. Speaking of the Darksaber, did you see Hasbro's Darksaber that they just came out with? It looks amazing. Like it's a full-on Darksaber. The thing doesn't slide out, right? It just detaches. It is awesome. It's like $200. It's friggin' amazing. Like, super cool. Like, my friend sent me a text message of it, and he's like, "Oh, I wish that I was the type of person who could just, drop $200 on a toy." And, I thought to myself, yeah, I wish that too. That would be amazing. I mean, as it stands, I probably spend way more money than I should, but it's still, it's fun. I love collecting. Seeing DB Official's crew, not crew, what do you call that? Like his collection was awesome. He's got a bunch of was it black? I want to say Black Label. That's not right. The black editions of a lot of the Star Wars toys. It's like that black edition Hera was awesome. And I'm right there with him though. But like I let my kids play with my toys. Yeah. The 125th. That was awesome. Well, thank you, Darth Gilles. I try to make content that's just fun. Lately I will say that I've been trying to make content that's useful. A lot of my content over the last couple of years have been really heavy into speculation. And that's fun, but it's not as beneficial to a lot of people as it could be. And come on now. And so with that, I'm trying to make, useful stuff too. Help people out. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Pawn. I want more, and I will say on a side note, and DB brought this up in his stream. He said that, and this is the truth about it. Like, Star Wars Resistance and Star Wars Rebels will be a lot of the next generation's introduction to Star Wars, right? And I love Star Wars. To me, Clone Wars was kind of like my intro. Like, I'd seen the movies, but I didn't really get into like the lore behind everything until around the Clone Wars era. I'd seen everything. Why am I wasting SLKR on GG? So that's what Nev is asking on Twitch. And the answer is because this is my last one. I love the idea of the Filoni-verse. So Dark Gilles on YouTube asks, what do I think about Thrawn being like Thanos? I don't want it to happen. It kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I'm really hoping that they go a different way with it. And the reason for that is Thrawn is he's this great big baddie. Now, if this were the old canon, it would make 100% sense. Like, it really would. Old canon, Thrawn should be the great baddie in The Mandalorian. That would make perfect sense. But then after The Mandalorian runs its course, then they introduce the idea that Thrawn was preparing the greater universe, the Chiss universe, the whatever, for what's coming next. I believe what's coming next is going to be the Yuuzhan Vong. Now, in new canon, though, Thrawn he's all about, he sees people for the asset that they bring or the benefit that they bring to whatever group he's a part of, right? So if you read the very first book, there's a moment in the very first book where Thrawn and his translator, Eli Vanto, are jumped, right? They're beaten up by, I don't know, can these 5 do it? Right? I don't. Anyways, they're jumped by these guys, and Thrawn, he gets them court-martialed or whatever, or he didn't get him court-martialed, but he gets them caught. And one of the things that happens in this catching is that let's do this. Booyah, Grandma! Right there. One of the things that happens here is that instead of getting these guys kicked out of the academy, he gets them sent to like this awesome training school for fighter pilots. I think it's like the Star Strike, whatever. Again, something that I think we've seen in comics, but what the idea is though, he doesn't want them like completely ruined, because he sees that in their attack they work together, they're effective, and he's like, oh, they'd make great fighter pilots. But let's mess with them a little bit. Let's get them separated, and I think it was like 3 guys, and get them sent to different academies, so they don't know what's happened to each other, and they think this is maybe a punishment or something. I don't know. It was really impressive. But what we see in like Star Wars Rebels does kind of contradict the idea that he's all about the greater good. Now, what's interesting though is this next book that's coming out in May 4th, so May the 4th, this book is called The Greater Good. Now, that event, that moment, was in the first relaunch of Thrawn in the new trilogy, as far as books go. The second series, as far as books go, let's hold off on him. The second series is this one that's coming out. They're good. They're really good. I love. I need him. Let's see here. I'm sorry. I'm jumping back and forth. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like I love reading. I love reading. It's amazing. It's great. It's fun, but I don't have time to sit down and read a book, and I don't have the patience to carry a book around with me. So I always get it on my screen, and so I'm either always on my phone reading something or playing something, and typically I'm playing something, and it's like, well, so that's why I like Audible so much, is because if I'm cleaning, I can put on a book for a few minutes and still be productive, right? I really enjoy it, and I highly recommend it, guys. I mean, again, if you like stories, especially if you like travel, or if you do anything that you have to listen to something while, you're driving. Like I was a delivery driver for books. 4 books. I was a library delivery driver while I went back and got my teaching certification. Yeah, there's so many great books out there. Actually, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get hosed. Freaking A. I do want to go to my local consignment store while I'm, over the next couple of days, and see, as I've said throughout my streaming career, I'm a collector, right? I love collecting. This guy's gonna hose me. and I collect books. I collect the Funko dolls. My wife got me this one for Christmas. It was funny because I bought it and I hid it from her. That's awesome, Nev. And I put it in my classroom, but then she came down to see which ones I had. She's like, "You didn't have that one." I was like, "Oh, but I do." But yeah, I want to pick up all the rest of the Harry Potters in paperback. Not paperback. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The secondhand, right? But hardback. I don't have all of them. I've got most of them. Or I've got 3 of the 7. You know, and it's one of those things that, like, I just want to have my own copies. I went through... I don't see them. Hold on, I'll show you after this battle. But I went through and I got some... I've got the... Oh, man. Vision of the Future, the New Jedi. Oh, my gosh! Right. Oh, I love going there to places like that. It's so much fun. And the thing is, I love hardback. Like, if ever, here's the thing, right? I love listening to zombies. Zombie stories. I don't necessarily believe that an apocalypse is coming. However, I was a Boy Scout, right? And the motto is be prepared. And I'm just saying, like, what good is a world of technology when an EMP has destroyed everything? We're going to be relying on books, right? Okay, now that I've lost that, let me show you this. You guys can see my PJs. Like, for Christmas, I bought myself these. Now, I had the Jedi Path, but I got the Rebel Files, the Smuggler's Guide, the Book of the Sith, the Bounty Hunter Code. I mean, I think I spent $20 on all 4 of these, but then, you know, shipping and handling, I probably spent about 30, which awesome, you know, and they're fun stories. They're really cool. I do need to get the other Thrawn books. I've got a couple of other books up here that, you know, I need to get finished. Right, I just need to go through them. Ooh, that's nice. See, I don't have a first edition of episode 1, 2, or 3, but I do have. Let's bring these guys in. And cargo ships. Nope. Kind of hoping that I don't need these all. Excuse me. And let's bring him in. Let's do that. The Essential Guide to Warfare. That's awesome. But, like, the thing about it is, like, but there's so many great books out there. Oh, come on. Oh, I was hoping that this would work a lot better than. I get excited and I stop focusing, and all of the sudden my mediocre ship skills become that much worse. So, you know, it is what it is. Vision of the Future and the New Jedi, like, those are so good. Like, I tell people all the time, like, if you have never ever experienced a Star Wars book, do it. Just pick one up. If you're a fan of Star Wars, there's so many great books out there that are really fun. But at the same time, there's so many great Star Wars books out there that are amazingly written, that are so good. And one of the things I love this. So this was the first one I got. This is great for kids. It's really wonderful. But it's kind of hard to see. So you get like these little annotations. Where's my finger? Which finger's hold it? Right there. You get these little annotations in the margins. Like that one's from Ahsoka, right? And so it's going through and it's telling you how the Jedi trained their kids. But then it's like Ahsoka. Then it's got Qui-Gon and it's got Obi-Wan and it's got Anakin. It's even got Dooku. It's so freaking good, and it's awesome. It's just great, you know. I absolutely love it. I mean, there's nothing else I can say that's all right. Now Nev is here. He's switched over to YouTube. It's just amazing. Who do I'm using? Thrawn. Let's bring these guys in. Let's do that. And again, like these are great stories. Like they're just so much fun. Terrible. Once again, ships will be my Waterloo. This is where I will fail. Thrawn versus Thrawn. Me Thrawn Naruto. I am very excited. So actually, I'm looking forward to reading the new era of Star Wars books that are coming out. I usually reach out to the publishers and I'm like, hey, can I get an advanced copy? The problem with that, if it's a book that I don't necessarily like, I tend not to do a review about it. Like I'll read it and I'll be like, oh yeah, it's all right. I really struggled with number 9, book 9, and it was just frustrating because I wanted more from 9, and I think I took that out on the book, which I mean it was usually they're shot for shot most of the time, but sometimes they have additional like information like, hey, this happened, or this is the meaning of this, and they usually they do a really good job, not always with the movies, but I really struggled with number 9, and that was the last book that I was able to get my hands on before. And like it's in my classroom, my kids love it, like my students love it. I think I've got like 4 or 5 that have read it, or they'll pick it up and like, I like this, I like the way it's told, and it's because they're not as into it as I am. They're just, you know, but like I just sit back and Xavius, welcome. But yeah, like the books are so good. But roundabout, to answer your question, I hope Thrawn is not the main bad guy. I know that I went on a crazy tirade right there. Yeah, I really hope Thrawn's not the main bad guy. However, as I mentioned, like I could totally see him being the main bad guy. It depends on where they go with this story. Now, what I would see is, and the thing that I like about the idea of Thrawn being part of the Filoni, or being the Thanos of the Filoni verse, right? For this, the thing that I like about it the most is that Thanos he's kind of a good guy, right? If you've ever read The Watchmen, right? He's I forget the main character's name. Favroni, yes. Filoni. If you've ever read The Watchmen, like, and this is a spoiler, but it's like 40 years in the making. He's the main bad guy, right? In The Watchmen. He does a terrible thing for a good reason, right? That's Thanos, right? He snaps his fingers, but he brings goodness. Yes, he kills like half of everything. But again, and I don't know. I could see that Thrawn. I could see Thrawn being that protagonist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's see. Assuming he doesn't finish, which he's totally going to, or she's totally going to, 3.5 hours is likely this person's going to finish. Unless, I've probably lost another one. But, like, if that's the Thrawn they introduce, it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense for him to be the main protagonist. If it's not, I could see them setting up a remnant, right? I could see them introducing, this is the First Order. Moff Gideon is part of the First Order. If he was over a research installation, I could see also him being part of the First Order. That would make sense. I don't know. I partially think that the episode that we saw in The Mandalorian was to introduce Ahsoka and her connection, right? What she's going to be doing, right? Why she's looking for Thrawn instead of, I don't know, someone else, something else, right? Instead of helping Luke build the Jedi Temple, rebuild the Jedi Temple, which, let's face it, would make a lot of sense. She's old. I mean, she's old Jedi, so it makes sense for her to do it. But I don't know. I could see it going a number of different ways. But again, I'm really hoping that he's not the main bad guy. I could totally see him doing it though. Let's see, Guild event rewards. Yeah, we came in second, and I gotta say, part of that was my own fault. Sorry, ballas. Yeah, she's looking for Thrawn because she's looking for Ezra. She's not looking for Thrawn simply to, say, hey, there was this blue guy over Lothal that I thought was pretty hot and sexy, and I'm searching the galaxy for that. No, that's not what she's doing. She's doing it because she's looking for Ezra, right? So, on a side note, I always like to wrap up my streams with this. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys before that I was going after my Geos. This is where I'm at. Okay, so Pago the Lesser is the last Geo that is not Relic 5. Once I get him up to Relic 5, I'm going to start working towards my 501st. I've got one away from Gear 13, so I'll be able to start relicking him probably the end of next week, beginning of the new year. But again, my goal is to get these guys up to 5. I think it's possible, but it's if they do use the World Between Worlds, very possible that they do that. A lot will change. In fact, now that they use the World Between Worlds, it's very possible that the old canon could still be canon. Right? They could make everything canon and say, this just happened in a different universe, or this just happened in a different timeline. Right? They can, and that's one of those things that that could easily change. Dave Filoni did an interview recently talking about how he agreed with the way, maybe not recently, it was probably a couple years ago. So Nev, and I need to read the book that talks about the Veil of the Force. But what he said is that he agreed with the outcome of episode 8, which I need to go back and see what he actually said, because things can get misinterpreted, when they're reported. And I want to see that interview because it sounds interesting. The way that Luke handled things. Now, I don't know. I like the old Luke. I do believe that Dave Filoni is the chosen one for the Star Wars universe. And so it's got me kind of all over the place. I want yeah. And so Nev brings up a good point. They wouldn't be putting on the veil of the Force in Star Wars if they weren't planning to change the future over the past. And so I think there's a lot of potential. I think that there is a lot of stuff that we could see, and I think it's very possible for Filoni, for Favreau. It really depends. Now, again, we know that what's his face, that Moff Gideon is specifically working with the Empire, obviously, but to clone. Right? He's cloning things or something with midichlorians, right? And I think that it's just what they're doing is they're trying to bring Palpatine back. I mean, it could be that they're trying to give Moff Gideon Force powers. That's also possible. But I just think they're trying to bring Palpatine back. To me, that makes the most sense, because that's where they've gone with it. Now, we know that cloning is something that's been done in the past, where they cloned Luke and made Luke. And so maybe that's something else that they're trying to do. We know that they've been kidnapping Force-sensitive children, right? They didn't do that at the start of the First Order. They've been doing that since the Empire, right? That's the job of the Inquisitors. Kill existing Jedi, right? But find those that are Force sensitive and bring them to us. I mean, what were they doing? They weren't just training new Imperials. Or new Jedi or Sith. What were they doing with them? And that's not something that's been addressed necessarily. It's something that probably will be addressed in the Fallen Order 2 video game. That's what I'm hoping, at least, because at the end of Fallen Order 1, the crew gets together and say, hey, we're going to work together and we're going to seek out all those extra Jedi, all those extra kids so they don't get trapped or whatever. And so that's where I think they're going with it. I don't know. The remnant of the Empire isn't all working. So Nev points out, he says that I heard a theory that the blood is used for Snoke's creation, but that makes no sense because Palpatine would just use his. The remnant of the Empire is working independent from Palpatine. Now, I don't believe that that's the case because Operation Cinder essentially created the remnant. Now, there will be survivors from Operation Cinder, just like there were survivors from the Jedi Order. And maybe that's what the remnant is, and not simply a, what do you call it? The offshoot of the Empire. Maybe it's not like the First Order. But the way that it was set up, at least in new canon, again, this is new canon, what I'm thinking is that they are, oh crap, what was I going to say? New canon has it to where anyone who survived and is part of that remnant was given those little droids with the face of Palpatine, right? And given an assignment. And they're given, I think some of them do. I don't know. I think the higher ups do. But I'm not sure. Anyways, I've got to run. Thank you for joining me this post-Christmas Eve, post-Christmas Day. I don't think that it did, Nev. I don't. So Nev's making the argument that it's the remnant took 15 to 20 years for the remnant to come together. I mean, maybe an old canon, or what you call canon. because Nev doesn't view anything without the direct supervision of George Lucas as it's all. Anyways, good luck to you, Nev, on your stream. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Those of you who are on YouTube, check out the links in the section below. And no joke, check out some of these Star Wars books. If you sign up for 1 month, it's absolutely free. You get 2 free books. Plus, there's dozens, if not hundreds, of other books out there that are phenomenal, that are really great. Check that out. Also, the Go Nerdy Swag store. I keep getting a lot of my shirts copyright infringed. It's my own work, and I'm super frustrated about it, but we'll see how that works out. But there's a lot of stuff coming out that should be awesome. I love it. Get yourself a mask, shirts, backpacks, not backpacks, other random crap. But everything you do goes to support the channel. I appreciate it, guys. Most importantly, like, subscribe, and share this video. And let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the future. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Have yourself a Merry post-Christmas. And as always, remember to smile.